Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In today's vid, as you can see, I've got my G20 series which I picked up about a week ago. Today we're going to be talking about the spec that I've gone for on the G20. I picked that car up about a week ago, done about a couple of 100 miles, so I got a good kind of a feel of how the car is kind of set up and getting used to all the kind of features. Before I start this video, I want to give a huge shout out to all my new subscribers who have subscribed to the channel based on me purchasing this car. Obviously you guys are going to be interested in the content in this car, and also guys, if you are owners of F30 and you are looking to buy this car, you will probably find my coming vlogs on this car more useful, because I will be comparing them directly to my F30, which again, as you may be aware, are traded in to buy this car. So let's go and start looking at the spec on my G20 series. So as I said earlier on in this vlog, what I'm going to be mainly concentrating on is how I spec'd my G20. Now, for those of you that are looking to spec one of these cars or purchase one of these cars in the not too distant future, hopefully you will find this video useful, because I'll hopefully give out some kind of content in terms of, you know, the kind of spec that you really want from the G20. So straight off the bat, the way I spec'd my G23 series was I knew what trim level I wanted. So the trim level of this car is the 3 Series M Sport. Then obviously I had to choose the engine. Now for me it was quite easy because I had the F30 320 diesel, so it was literally just a like for like kind of an upgrade. So I've still got the 320 diesel engine in this one, which we'll talk about when I open up the bonnet. But then it was kind of like, okay, the 320 diesel engine with the automatic gearbox, and then it was the colour. Now, for those of you that have been following my channel and who saw the unveiling of this car, my last car was Glacier Silver. Now obviously I didn't want a Glacier Silver car, so I wanted to obviously change the colour, so I went for the Mineral White. Now you can get this car in the Alpine White, which is a kind of a flat white. We're not talking coffees or anything. Now the best way I can explain the differences between the Alpine White and the Mineral White is that the Alpine White, like I said, is like a flat white. It's a non-metallic paint. This one is a metallic with a bit of a pearl effect in it. Now if I kind of get close and quite low down, in different sort of shades of light, this car gives out about 3 or 4 different kind of white shades. And obviously it has like a pearl effect in the paintwork, which you might be able to tell from about there. And there's usually like a bit of a flake in the paintwork as well, which, you know, like I say, in certain lights it really pops. I then had to spec up the trim of the car. Now most of you can tell that this car looks fairly sporty, so this trim here is the M Sport trim. Now it essentially comes with an aggressive kind of like a body silhouette. So you've got this kind of a deeper front bumper, a nice aggression kind of sort of a profile. It does normally come with like the chrome grills. This has got an additional pack on it, which again we'll talk about very soon. The M Sport also comes with 18-inch wheels. Obviously these ones are 19s, which again we'll talk about very soon. And it has a nice sporty side skirt around the sides. And if we move around the rear end, it has a more of an aggressive kind of a rear bumper. With the M Sport you get an M style steering wheel, which is, you know, leather wrapped, 3-spoke, quite nice. And then you get these kind of sport seats here, which again, compared to the F30, these seats are way more supportive, and in design as well alone they just look a little bit more better compared to the F30, with this kind of more kind of intricate kind of detail. I think as far as sport seats go in a kind of a sports saloon, you know, these look pretty damn good. Hopefully you guys are still tuned into like this content and you're finding it like useful. I'm going to now talk about the 2 main option packs that I've gone for. BMW have made it a lot easier to select options on this car, rather than before you were selecting like individual options. They've now kind of combined them into like certain packs. So the first pack, as you can see on the car, you know, with the black grille, I've got the M Sport Plus pack. It's around about the £2,200 kind of like mark for that pack, but it makes the car look pretty much like the way it looks there. So in detail now, let's go and have a look at what the M Sport Plus pack actually consists of. The M Sport Plus pack for £2,200 will get you the front grille in black. Now this grille, don't be fooled guys, even though it might just look like a slab of plastic, it is an active grille. So these slats here, they will open to obviously cool the engine whenever it needs cooling. One of the main features here is that it's now actually one piece and it's joined. If you look at the chrome version of this grille, it's probably more apparent. It's apparent on this one as well. I personally think that that's a homage to the E21, the first 3 Series that was launched. That was the only car that had the whole grille, albeit that was in like chrome. It was a one piece, so this has now gone back to that. Again, you know, as we were just talking about styling cues and what have you, you got this bumper that kind of integrates into like the headlight. That's a feature that we saw on the E36 in, like, say, the late 90s, and they kind of reintroduced that back onto this car. Some of you guys will like the way this looks, and some of you might be a bit polarized compared to, like, say, the F30. Personally, I do like the way the front end looks. The grille is a bit big. It looks like a George Foreman grille at sometimes, especially if it's in like chrome. But I think with the black it kind of goes. The M Sport Plus pack will also give you these 19-inch alloy wheels in bi-colour, so they're kind of like machine finished in the chrome with, like, say, the black. You also get with the M Sport Plus pack the M Sport brake system. They're not the M Performance brakes, because those are like a little bit bigger and the calipers are red, but these come with, like, say, like the Astoria blue paintwork, which again, it makes the car look a little bit more aggressive. 18-inch alloy wheels on this look a little bit smaller. So the tyres are like the run flat tyres, the Bridgestone ones that come kind of like standard on like all 3 Series, unless you go for, like, say, the 330i, which come with like the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, which is obviously it's a non-run flat tyre and give you a real nice feel as well when you're driving. Not a priority at the moment because I need to change the tyres on my M140i, so it is what it is. Personally, I think run flats have their pros and cons, and the reason I say that is recently on my F30 I had run flats on there. My mum fell ill like recently. My M140i wasn't at home and I had to get her to hospital, and I took her in the F30, which actually had a puncture and it wasn't holding any sort of tyre air pressure. But because it was a run flat, I was able to drive the car and get her into A&E, which obviously has its perks, I guess. So in 2 minds, I don't want to stick on non-run flat tyres on this if I'm in that situation again. So around the rear of the car, the M Sport Plus pack comes with this lip spoiler. It's quite subtle, it doesn't really do a huge amount to the rear of the car. Doesn't make it look any more aggressive than what it is as it was with the just like the standard M Sport. Even if it never came with that, I don't think the deal would have fell through. But what it does do is that generally, like on the M Sports and the non-M Sport cars, the tailpipes, they are usually chrome, but with the M Sport Plus pack, they're kind of like a dark chrome, I think is what BMW call them, and these are real, one on each side. BMW keeping it real, love it. I really like the way it looks around the rear of the car. I mean, a lot of people will see like this side of, like, say, the 3 Series as it just goes past all the traffic. I do like how, like, it's been sculptured around the back. Like, you got all these nice sort of crevices and curves and everything. I think personally this is probably the best looking current BMW as a saloon on the market right now. A lot of thought and sort of process has gone into, like, the whole design. Honestly, I just think it looks so much better compared to, like, say, the outgoing model. I mean, I like this kind of feature of the rear lights. It's like you got a 3D effect going on here. You got this, like, the L bar, and then you've got the darkened lenses over here. Again, a lot of people have criticised the design of the lights. They kind of think it looks like a Lexus. I mean, BMW did join hands with, like, say, Toyota to build, like, the Z4 and the Supra. Maybe Toyota threw them in, like, for the 3 Series, you know, from their Lexus parts bin. I don't know, but personally, I think the back end is quite striking on this car. And just looking at it from this profile, it's, you know, you can still tell it's a 3 Series at the end of the day. I mean, you got the Hofmeister kink over there, which again, it's now kind of integrated into, like, say, the C-pillar, and then over here you've got, you know, like an exposed kind of glass. Nice feature there. So with the M Sport Plus pack, you get these M seat belts as well, which obviously add a nice kind of feature to the regular sort of 3 Series. But I kind of think that BMW are diluting the whole kind of M brand, because you're getting all these kind of M sort of badging around the kick plates. You're getting a nice M badge down here, and when you put the car into, say, the sports mode, you get like an M sort of a little kind of decal down there as well. I'm not sure if that's going to turn up now, but there you go. Right below the 0 miles per hour, you get like a little kind of a M badge over there as well. Let's put the car back into comfort. So as we're still talking about the M Sport Plus pack, what does it add in terms of, say, interior above, like, say, the M Sport? Well, not a lot. We will talk about the interior very shortly. But one key feature that it does add above the M Sport on, say, the chassis of the car is that it comes now with the adaptive suspension. If you've been following my channel for quite a while and you've been following all my content around the M140i, I've spoken so much about the adaptive suspension. It's night and day difference. My F33 series didn't have it, and although at times I'd kind of like settle for it, like as in it didn't have it and it was fine. There were times, because that car was also riding on 19-inch wheels with the same kind of tyre setup as this. There were times when we'd go over a bump and the car would actually crash into it. This car I drove with and without the adaptive suspension, and again, I wouldn't say it's a huge night and day difference, but with the adaptive, it comes part of the M Sport Plus pack, guys, so definitely spec it up because you want the car looking like this anyway, and it's a real great feature, and I think it works on the 3 Series way better than it works on, say, the M140i or BMW's other kind of models in the F Series kind of lineup. So that's pretty much it in terms of, say, the M Sport Plus pack. The other pack that I've kind of specced is the Tech pack. Now, again, previously in the F Series, you'd go for the M Sport Plus pack, you'd get pretty much the same as what you've got on here, but you'd get the Harman Kardon sound system. That's a feature that I always wanted on, like, say, my car. I couldn't get it now as part of the M Sport Plus pack, but I went for the Tech pack. Tech pack is another must-have on a car like this, and I'll tell you exactly why now. So as I've just mentioned, that I wanted the Harman Kardon on this car because it's a feature I've got on my M140i and the previous 3 Series, and the only way I could spec it is to go for the Tech pack. So essentially you get like some tweeters up here, you get a real nice exposed kind of speaker in the door card here. I mean, even that door card, for example, there's nothing that kind of looks the same compared to, like, say, the outgoing model. I mean, these door handles, for example, there's a lot of thought process that's gone into them. Look at that Hofmeister kink over there. You got this kind of a blue light that runs. You got ambient lighting, which obviously the car is kind of turned off at the moment, so you can't really see it. But there's a lot of ambient lighting around the whole kind of cabin, which makes the car look, really special at night. So as part of the Tech pack, you get the 10.25 inch screen for the infotainment system there. You get a 12.25 inch screen over here. You also get a head-up display, which again, when I start up the car, you'll hopefully see across there. So those are a few nice features with the Tech pack. Oh, and you also get the gesture control with the Tech pack as well. That's pretty much my G23 series kind of specced up with the Tech pack and the M Sport Plus pack. Obviously, the way it looks, I think personally looks pretty good. Those are the two main packs that you really want to have to make it look as good as the way it is there. The other thing that you'll notice is I've got like the M Performance decal running over there. Let's go and have a look at that. It kind of runs along the side of the car. Now again, I think if you've been following my channel and you've been following my F30 content, I really don't like my cars looking very corporate, hence why I've specced it the way it does, and I kind of think it looks quite unique in the way it is. I have got on order, on the back order, the M Performance kit, which will consist of like a gloss black splitter, some side skirts down there, and a little bit more of an aggressive looking spoiler compared to what we've got on here, which will, it'll kind of point upwards a little bit. And as part of that kit, we're going to change the diffuser on the back here, which makes it look a little bit more aggressive. That is on kind of back order, so hopefully within a few weeks that'll be on the car. So now what I'm going to try and do is get a bit technical. Apologies if I get my facts wrong. I have kind of looked into them. We're going to start talking about the engine, how it's kind of set up, and like the horsepower and all of that on the car. So this is the engine of choice for my 320 diesel. This is the B47 engine, which is pretty much carried forward from the F30 generation cars. The only difference here is that it's not a twin scroll turbo. This is now a full-on twin turbo engine, so you got a small turbo and a big turbo, which basically makes the car's power delivery a lot more linear. Now, in terms of, like, say, facts, numbers, horsepower, newton meters, torque and all of that, it produces the same as what the F30 320 diesel produced, so that was 190 horsepower. Torque figures, 400 newton meters of torque, which is again very similar to what the previous model was making. It feels more linear, it feels more smoother, and it feels more quieter. I mean, I lived with the F30 320 diesel for about 2 years. I know exactly how that used to perform. This again is mated to the 8-speed ZF gearbox, which I think they've tuned up as well, so the shifts are much smoother, and it's, it doesn't like jerk around as much as it did in the previous model. It's definitely quieter in terms of performance. 0 to 60 now the car does that in about 6.8 seconds, which is phenomenal for a 2-litre diesel car. This car, obviously the front end is all aluminium, so the bonnet, obviously the wings and everything, that's all aluminium. Spec for spec, punch for punch, this car is about 55 kg lighter than the outgoing car. It's also about 25% stronger and rigid compared to the outgoing car, so it handles beautifully. We will do the whole kind of driving video and all of that separately to this, because I think this video's like, you know, it's just, I'm just rambling on, I guess. I just wanted to highlight all the spec of this car. The drag coefficient on this car is down from 0.26 to 0.23. I read somewhere that the Bugatti Chiron that did a top speed of about 304 miles an hour, that has a drag coefficient of 0.22. I'm not saying this is as quick as a 300 mile an hour car, no way, but when you're looking at, like, say, the drag coefficients, 0.23 versus 0.22, so I don't know how that kind of compares, but and how much that is, but it's there. That's pretty much, like, say, the engine and the gearbox that we've spoken about. Let's now go and sit in the car and talk you through what the car looks like, again, coming out of the F30. So this is now the interior of the G20. Totally different compared to how the F30 was. What I really like is that the car that's displayed is in the same color as, like, say, the car that we've got here. If this was, like, say, the Portimao blue, that diagram there of the car would also be in the same kind of color as well. This screen down here is obviously the largest screen. I think that's like 10.25 inches across. That's the 12-inch screen, and obviously we've got the head-up display. What I really like, we'll come back to the head-up display. What I really like is everything is logically laid out. All the buttons in here, they're not carried forward from any previous model. Like I said, even, like, say, the kind of like door opening mechanism and everything is completely different. I mean, even up here, for example, like the interior lighting, a lot of like kind of design and thoughts gone into that. I mean, you got a frameless mirror, which again is quite nice and upmarket. The fit and finish overall in this car is literally a step up compared to what we've been used to. I like how BMW call these like islands. So you've got all the heating controls here, and then down here you got this another island, which you got all the infotainment system controls, and you've got, like, say, the start stop button that's now down here. We've got the parking cameras, and there's no more toggle, so you can go from Eco Pro straight to Sport, and you can individualize, like, say, the Sport and the Eco Pro, and obviously there's other adaptive suspension. So this is now a physical button that you press, and you can drive the car in adaptive all the way along. Manual handbrake is now gone, so you got an electronic parking brake here, and I always keep the auto hold kind of function open. Down here, as part of the tech pack again, my phone is not a kind of a wireless charging, hence why I've got it plugged in, but you've got a wireless charging pad there, which is quite a nice feature as well. So the driver's display down here, that looks quite busy in terms of all the information that's obviously displayed. You've got the speedo on that side that goes that way, you've got the rev counter on the other side that goes backwards. Generally, when we start the car up, let's do that now. So now the car started up, 2-litre diesel, you can't hear anything. I mean, obviously we've got the acoustic glass up there, we've got double glazed windows down here, which I can quickly show you if I just raise the glass there. Check this out, you've got a double glazed kind of, like, say, glass there, so it keeps out a lot of that noise pretty much through the cabin. We'll just put the aircon down. So here, we obviously, in between the two dials, you get like a bit of a map view. You can change what you want to display. So we're in Solihull right now. So now we've got like a G meter going through it. There's other kind of, like, say, power bands kind of thing. That's what I'm listening to, Capital UK, and that obviously is in, like, say, the comfort mode, and I can move it into sport, individual. And when I do that, obviously you get a car that turns up on here. So that's quite nice. So obviously when I go into comfort mode, you get the picture, you get like a kind of a graphic, and as part of, like, being, as I've got, like, say, the adaptive suspension, you can configure exactly what you want the Sport to do, so, you know, weighted steering and stuff like that. And of course there we have our head-up display as part of the tech pack. So there you go, guys, that's the spec of my G20 3 Series. I hope you found this video useful. I know there's a lot of talking, we didn't do the driving, but I want to really keep that to a separate vlog. otherwise, you know, this will be like over 20 minutes long or so. Hopefully guys you've enjoyed it. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of the G20 content, and don't forget to hit me up on my Instagram, and hopefully guys I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.